Hey, what's up, After Buzzers? You're watching the Mayans M.C. After Show. We're covering 2 episodes because we missed a week last week. Episode 7, Cucaracha. Episode 8, Rata. I'm Jorge Pallo. We'll be back in a sec.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Well, if you're gonna kill your mother, I guess it might as well be to this. Right?
It's something that you can dance to. Yeah, absolutely.
As well. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jorge Pallo. We're talking about cooperation and partnerships, Ghosts from the Past, and matricide. Episodes 7 and episodes 8. To my left is a special guest.
Thank you for having me. I'm Kenneth Castillo. I'm an independent Latino filmmaker who specializes in the urban genre.
Yeah, and Kenny, as I am and as you are, is a big fan of the show Mayans, and of course of Kurt Sutter's work. So let's talk episodes 7 and 8. Towards the end of the show, we're gonna have our special segment, the most gruesome death, and maybe some news. All right. So, overall thoughts on the 2 episodes, Kenny?
Wow. I mean, it was cool that I'm here for those 2 episodes, because they're my 2 favorite episodes so far. I feel like a lot of things came to a head, particularly the relationship with Coco and his mother, and with his daughter, because she kind of instigates, she kind of puts the wheels in motion. And also, I'm liking this kind of partnership now that is kind of happening between Galindo now and Potter, and Adelita, not necessarily voluntarily, but now it's going to be interesting to see how Galindo handles both those individuals.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those partnerships in a bit. Yeah, I can honestly say these were 2 of my favorite episodes this season as well. It's such a ramp up. You know that the next 2 are just going to be out of this
world.
Where
do they go from here?
Where do you go from there?
No idea.
At the end of the episode 8, I was just like, wait, that's it then, right?
Right.
No, but so much happening all around. I honestly felt like it was a 2-part episode in many ways because they were so well connected. One bled right into the next.
Yeah, I had to, for today, I watched last week's episode last week, but then before I even started this week's episode, I watched it again, and I did watch them back to back. So they did feel very well connected, almost as if they were written as one and then broke them up into 2.
Yeah, it felt
episodes.
like a movie.
Yeah, definitely. And but it's especially where Easy is concerned in terms of his loyalty to the club, his loyalty to himself, his loyalty to his father, his brother. I mean, it's just.
My gosh, and there were some tense moments too when his loyalty was put into question in episode 8. When
they get pulled over by CHP.
No, even before that, when what is it? Jimenez goes over to the tells him that his cover's about to be blown.
Oh, right,
and then he walks into the bar.
Right, and he thinks that he's found out.
Yeah.
He gives the gets a blessing from La Virgen de Guadalupe, before going in, and they're like, yeah, go polish the bikes. So,
he was sweating. Boy was sweating on that one, right? So you were talking a little bit. You mentioned about the partnerships. Potter and Galindo and Adelita, Los Olvidados, and Galindo family. What do you think?
The biggest revelation for me at the end of the episode 7 was the fact that Adelita is the biggest gangster in this entire show. And she doesn't really have a specific loyalty to anybody, even to the rebels that she represents. She seems to be one step ahead of everybody that's around. So one of my favorite scenes had to do with her and Felipe, where she basically gets the truth of her father.
Well, we'll talk about that in Ghosts from the Past, but right now with the partnerships. Her scene with Galindo.
I
mean, that was a beautiful moment. Him being led down the stairs to the basement,
right,
and her walking out. The look on Danny Pino's face when he sees her coming out,
right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And she's has the baby, and that was to me kind of shocking because she's basically making a deal with the devil, and she says so. It's such an effed up environment that these guys are in.
Well, the devil,
right,
I guess.
Right, and I think, but I would never, if I were her, and I don't think she does, fully trust Galindo, and this may be a ruse for something later down. I'm not sure what yet with her, but I just know that she seems to always be one up on everybody.
Right.
And just getting the info, like just the way she got the information about the mother being cremated and how Felipe talks to that, and that's the first thing she goes for when she breaks into the house and has the scene.
I mean,
with him.
she's really got everybody by the numbers. I mean, the way that she had all of his businesses, the poppy fields, the transport, the labs,
the storage
everything,
warehouses,
everything under surveillance. And when she just blows up those the first 4 that pop up, and Miguel's just sitting back like, sure, so you blew up 4, big deal.
Right.
And then she just presses the button and they all start popping up.
Right. Well, I like her thinking in terms of she can't get rid of him because, like they said, if this more will pop up, that's not going to go away. So she needs to deal with him.
And it'll be completely lawless.
Right.
Right? So all she's trying to do is rein in the devil.
She's trying to do what the Mexican government can't do, right? She's trying to manipulate the situation to hopefully better her. And if there's going to be drug money coming in, she's going to use it for something different.
Right. We want our cut, and we want to be able to take care of our people.
Yeah, exactly.
Provide health care, provide food, provide shelter for the people who are suffering because the government's not doing it, and you guys are killing us all. And if so make the partnership with the devil. But then the devil gets caught by the USA, by the DOJ, by frickin' Potter.
Right.
Potter.
That was the one thing they didn't really deal with, and I'm interested to see is how is that going to affect his partnership with Adelita?
Well, I think... all right, let's talk about how that whole thing went down in the first place, right? Okay, so... End of episode 7, Cucaracha. Finally, Miguel comes home with the baby. Right, everybody's happy.
Right,
she gets the whole, M gets the whole little Cristobal, and everybody's also happy. And then lights go out.
Yeah,
right. Something's coming up at that point. What did you think it was?
I knew it was. I felt it was going to be Potter, and
you felt it was going to be Potter?
Absolutely. I just felt like, okay, this is gonna be a great way to end the episode. That they think they're in the clear and they're not, and this is going to be a whole different scenario for Galindo to deal with because he's dealing with someone who's basically could do whatever they want. Even Adelita can't do that, but Potter can.
Yeah.
And so it was also kind of a tease in the way I love the way that the actress Malena Forte played it, where she's asking all these questions about the baby and it's so cute, and she's like, you're under arrest because you didn't. And they take the baby away, and you see the look on Emily's face, and I just thought the way Marlena Forte set that up, the actress, I really loved the way she did that.
She does great work, and then she calls her a culera later on, and she's like, I might be.
Yeah, she doesn't deny it.
She doesn't deny it.
She knows she's being
yeah. Oh, that's great. And then when Potter, his whole thing about comfort.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
We have to say, we have to mention that for those you don't know already, that Potter's, from is one of the characters that's from Sons of Anarchy, and it's kind of why one I love watching Mayans is when they bring a great character from Sons of Anarchy. As an actor, the guy makes such very interesting, strange choices, and I love it. But it just it almost makes your skin crawl.
And his backstory is actually pretty rich in the sense that his whole Rico bust went bad with the Sons,
right?
And so he went undercut. He just immersed himself in this whole system to figure out how this whole thing worked.
He's relentless,
and he became relentless, and he's the white Aztec. And every time he speaks Spanish, it's like like
nails on a chalkboard. I'm like, because he thinks he's so cool when he's speaking it, and it's just driving me crazy. But it's again for a character to elicit that kind of emotion from a viewer is brilliant.
Yeah, I love that actually Sarah Bulger's character actually was saying what I was thinking.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
you're just annoying.
Yeah,
Just
well, and I also like the fact that she's. I love the way he played that. I love the way that was written. Whereas, you know, she is so loyal to Galindo, but the one way to get to her is through her baby.
Right.
She's never going to choose Galindo over, over her baby. That's not going to happen. So
And-
I like that was what was used as leverage.
But that didn't work. I think
No,
that
at the end,
at
yeah.
the end, we have actually that clip. It's the devil will lead clip. If we could pull that one up in a second. But in that one, you see how that bond just became even tighter,
Right.
between M and Miguel, right?
And I think that's a true, that, you know, you talk about the authenticity of the show. I think that's a true thing with a husband and wife, that it is them against the world,
Right.
in that type of position that this guy has. And so they don't take these attacks, are not on the business. They're taking it's attack on their family.
Oh, here we go. The devil will lead the forgotten soldiers. That's this is them walking
Oh,
to
this
the
is a
DOJ.
great scene, yeah.
I love this scene.
Talked to Bonte and the lawyers.
There wasn't much to say. Everything Potter threw at me was just beautiful mind bullshit.
Well, she covers for easy there.
Right.
None of the intel was real.
They have nothing.
Yeah. Now they do.
Like, I won't let them do to me what they did to my father.
They own us, Miguel. They can touch everything we have, everyone we know.
Not everyone. Look, these ignorant fucking puppeteers are gonna find out what it feels like to be played.
Ooh, I like that. They're going to find out what it feels like to be played.
See,
They're just waiting for a devil to lead them.
2,000 soldiers waiting for a devil to lead them.
Yeah.
I think he's going to honor his partnership with Los Olvidados way more than he's going to honor it with the DOJ.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no,
how I feel.
definitely. No.
Because, I mean, which I was saying to you a little bit earlier, I was like, yes, good. Enough with the brown on brown crime.
Right. Well,
Against the
now
DOJ.
we have
Now we have a real
the
enemy.
Gringo Aztec that
The white
that is
Aztec.
the enemy. And what's funny about that scene is you are rooting for Emily and Galindo, you know, against Potter. You're rooting. Well, at least
yeah.
I did. I started rooting for them. Even though I was rooting for Adelita in the scene with Galindo, but yeah, I love that they kind of brushed over it in that
Yeah.
scene. But you know, she protects Easy because she sees that
Yeah.
Easy's.
She saw that it was because all the that other folder that Potter had given her,
Right.
with the
All the
eyewitness
intel, yeah.
intel on Miguel was all coming from a prospect's point of view.
Right.
They even wrote the prospect says.
Right.
Messed up. Oh. But
Which is going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out, because I found that what I found interesting about the show from the very beginning was you're dealing with two brothers that are already at the very beginning doing things against the club.
Right.
Like that's where they're starting.
Oh, we don't know where that's going to go
Yeah,
yet.
so
we
I'm-
don't even know where that's going to go
Right,
yet. And
so
we got a little taste of that too. Since you brought that up, between Angel and Riz when they had that fight,
Right.
we got that clip too. But Angel turning in Riz, you know, like flipping on Riz and telling the club about the tunnel,
Right.
Basically put Riz in a difficult position,
Right.
because he couldn't, because now the club was saying, "Oh, well, you're lying. Why are you lying to us?" And he didn't really think it was that big of a deal. Now,
Well,
all
because he wasn't making money off of it.
he wasn't making money
but
off
there
of
was
it.
still
there were
revenue.
still consequences,
Right, and there could be a possible revenue stream for the club. So I think they looked at it that way. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that you weren't making money; we could still be making money off of that.
Here's the Angel and Riz fight.
Oh yeah,
Oh, these are good. It's a good makeup job on
yeah.
that. Oh, nice right cross.
Yeah, this is.
This is pretty brutal.
I just. Who do you? If you're
Who
in
do
the
you root
club,
for?
who do you root for if you're in the club, right?
Well, Coco and Gilly immediately stood up for Angel when Riz came at him after the meeting.
Right.
After he got his patch. No, he got to keep his patch, but his office was taken away.
Right. He's no longer secretary.
Yeah. Oh, takedown. Oh.
And see, the very end reminds me of, like, you know, one of my favorite fights of all time is the trilogy between Gotti and Ward. How two men could beat each other like that, and then at the end, be cool and like,
like you cool?
Yeah,
cool.
we're good. We're good.
Yeah. And then Bishop just is like, finish it.
Yeah, I love
stop
the way. Yeah.
like we're good. Hug it out,
Yeah,
boys. Hug it
that's it.
out.
Yeah, right there.
Mi carnal, what's up?
Yeah, it's and then with should we even get to even the end or well no you want to go back to in terms of relationships. I had this discussion also with someone else because I'm big into the urban genre, but it is the fact that the entire series is all about families, different families, and how that is all those families are colliding because they all have different goals and different ambitions.
And all those families are haunted by ghosts at the same
absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
Right? Like even Miguel in that scene with Sarah was talking about he's not going to let them do what they did to his father.
Right.
He's haunted by the things that happen. Whatever. We don't have that entire story, but obviously something went down between the DOJ and Papa
It was the
Galindo.
CIA, I think, that he said. The CIA was...
It was the CIA.
Yeah.
It was the CIA that had him.
He's like, something happened to me, what happened to my dad with the CIA. I believe that was what what Galindo said. And, we don't know that, like you said, with the past is so rich and they give us little pieces, but it just makes me want to know, like, you almost could have a prequel towards Mayans,
Which brings us to Adelita and Felipe. Like, what brings her to his door? I mean, there's other the ghost from her past, the whole having to deal with her father and watching her brother and her mother and her father get massacred.
Right, and then finding out that her father and himself was a monster, and having to deal with that. I almost think that's more painful than the real is. Well, maybe not because she witnessed what happened to her brother, her mom, and her dad. But then what is she going to go through now that she knows who is responsible?
Right.
With the priest. And what is she going to do with him? Because he's spooked.
The bishop
is totally spooked that he actually goes to
I thought that
Galindo's
was actually
right hand.
Pretty decent of Felipe / Ignacio to drive down there
Right.
and be like,
just so you know,
her real name is Luisa Esperina.
Espina.
Espina. I think it's Espina. Luisa Espina.
I'm going to tell you right now.
And she knows who you are. Oh, here it is. This is Adelita and
Espina. I was correct.
Espina, yeah. This is Adelita and
that's a great scene.
this is a great scene too.
Maybe the one who took the picture. We were always together, inseparable.
I like seeing young pictures of
Oh yeah, the old vintage
of Edward James.
They just they say a lot.
Took another path. He was the only one that knew where it was.
I just like seeing him on TV again.
Yeah,
He was
he's
great.
so solid.
Yeah.
And nobody drops an F-bomb like he does.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, because he saves them.
Yeah.
He saves them.
Your father.
The sacred trust of a priest.
Yep.
But even then, I felt like he was going to grab the gun and maybe threaten her.
Right.
And the fact that he just gives it to her and is
She
like,
goes and throws up.
yeah.
No, but
He just does it so calmly, like,
he's ready for anything.
yeah.
But here's when he talks a little bit more about more ghosts. When he's like, if you're going to...
Kill me.
Here it is.
Please don't do it here. I don't want my home to have the same bad memories as my shop.
And that's more ghost.
Yeah.
That's his wife.
Because we don't have a lot.
Wow.
I'm sure there's more things that have happened at the shop than just what has been the meeting place for Easy and
You
Detective.
think there's more history
Oh,
besides
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely.
But his mother was found dead there. His wife was found dead there. Right? That's
Right,
where
that's
she
what
was
they're
murdered.
talking about,
I
yeah.
think that's what he's talking about. And he doesn't want to leave the home the way his shop is to
And
his
I like that we
boys.
get more of that history of the mother's death through a flashback. J.D. Pardo's, Easy's flashback.
And now we know what happened there with the whole
Right.
Wildcat and him trying to figure out what the license plate was.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love...
I just love how young he looks. Him and Emily look so different in the flash, which is they're supposed to.
They're supposed
but
to, but how do they do that with his beard, with his goatee? That's my question.
But he even looks smaller in it too,
Did they film those last year?
They
and then
must
put them
have.
together? Yeah.
That must have been in the first pilot.
Oh, here's Easy's Wildcat flashback. Throughout this whole
This
system,
is the most we get. I think.
this is the
from
most. Yeah, finding his mother dead on the floor.
I mean, he has that the Wildcat sticker in the back of the car, and then
Right.
following him to that bar.
No, I think he runs in. He runs upon it happenstance. You see how he just turned his head and he didn't realize that it was.
But then he gets his. That's
yeah.
what. Then he gets
Then
his
he-
car, and then he waits for him to come out of the bar.
Right. Uh-oh. Yeah. So now he's gonna have himself a little stakeout. Where's Cooley's Cantina? Is that a real place?
Yeah, it must be. It doesn't look like a set.
It looks like
yeah.
a real place.
Yeah.
What's he carrying there? Revolver?
Yeah. 38.
Yeah.
The fancy handle on it.
Where'd he get the gun is my question. Is he just waiting?
And they don't even give us like.
They don't give us any context?
No.
And then finally, just person after person coming up, him waiting. And finally, when the guy comes out, he's wearing a hoodie. So, is there more to that guy now?
Well, maybe
is he going to show up more
Maybe
later?
it's somebody we know or somebody he knows because they're making an effort to hide the guy's face.
Yeah.
And
because we don't know. We also don't know what happened to that guy because we know that he chases him down and he ends up shooting the cop by mistake.
Right.
But we don't know what happens to that guy.
Right.
So
that
he's still out
might
there
be
somewhere.
somebody that he knows or might be on the show that we get back to. But I think that considering how much has happened in 7 and 8, I think that's what's going to be the cliffhanger. Or that's going to be how they're going to end 10. Talking about a little bit, not too much of a prediction, but that we're going to get the full story of that and how and he's going to be in jail. I mean, him and Angel are going to be in jail because they found Coco's mom in their trunk. So.
Oh God, that leads us into another topic. But before we get into that topic, I want to do a little live read here.
All right.
I want to talk to the fans personally. Hey guys, ¿cómo estás? Oh,
Nice.
gracias.
Like that.
All right,
little music there.
All right. Hey, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. But by subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that is tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
That was very nice.
Yeah, so that's to the dulcet tones of some instrumental salsa music,
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved the whole voice, the whole delivery. It was really great. Yeah, so where are we at
And
now?
so
with this?
now I think we're talking about a little matricide because you brought it up, my friend.
Man.
Coco and Letty. Letty starts the whole freaking thing down the path. Well, really, it's Celia's. Like, what the hell? What? Like the worst mother in the world,
Well,
really.
The funny thing is in a show, right? In the show full of gangsters and bikers and drug cartel and crooked cops, the whole nine, the most unredeemable character is Coco's mother.
Right.
And there's no love lost when we see her go. But the scene itself was so intimate, and the fact that it was
Well, it starts off.
Yeah, we gotta back up
We got to lead up to
dramatic
there, 'cause
just
it's
in terms of
the whole thing. It just led to this explosion.
Yeah.
that led to another explosion at the episode 8 ended one way, and then episode 9.
yeah.
Right?
Who knows? What's
Okay, so episode 8, we're talking about. So Letty bangs her head on the toilet, right after Celia takes her money that her father
Coco gave her,
that
yeah.
Coco gave her, right? Because
Right.
Coco's already introduced her to the club
And
There it
tells
is.
her basically go be a prostitute if
Right.
you want to make money.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to go earn your keep, is what she tells her.
Yeah.
Right. So Letty starts off having a good day.
Yeah.
She starts off having a good day. She
Right.
shows up to the yard.
Yeah, but what does
She's
it
like,
say about the character who is reliant on Chucky so much, to take her everywhere? Like that's her friend right now, So
oh, look at that. That's so brutal, though.
well, I'm like,
I don't think I've
there could have been maybe an easier way, but like just cinematically, I love it. You know,
Cinematically, I love it, but it also tells me a little bit that she might be a bit of a sociopath.
Yeah, I think she's a little crazy.
I think she might be a bit of a sociopath. I don't know.
And you know, she does come to the realization after Coco leaves, and then tells Easy, well, I made it up, and he knows what's going to happen when he shows up to Coco's mom's house, and it's just like. But we get to that, the way that the scene happens, and there's a great quick shot when he's strangling her in the bath, and her hand comes up. And
well, this is also part of our most gruesome death segment, so we'll get to that piece in a little bit.
Because I want to run through it.
We'll run through this piece, but I want to talk a little bit more about just the whole lead up to it happening, because Letty's all right. So Letty, like I was saying, started off having a good day.
Right.
She's got Chucky driving her over to the yard. Right. Easy's like,
making her breakfast.
Making her breakfast, right? What are you doing here? My father wanted me to come. And the whole club comes in after a meeting, and Coco finally introduces his kid.
Right.
Right? And she's beaming.
Right.
In that one moment, she actually feels like she's got some family.
Right.
Right? Like everything's coming up, Letty.
But I felt like there was a weird energy with the club, because this is still a secret. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's maybe not a secret, a negative. It's something positive, like, well, here's my daughter, and I'm introducing you to. But it's also like there aren't many secrets in this club, or at least
there are a lot of secrets in the club, but there shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. So I felt like there was a little bit of a hesitation and like not knowing how to react to this.
Well, I think that hesitation was actually coming from the fact that the previous last two episodes, 5 and 6, they were they were led to believe that Coco was meeting
a mole.
He was a mole, and he was meeting with Adelita this entire time. So that's when Bishop goes up to Coco, not to Coco, to. God, so many names. I need flashcards. Chucky. He goes up to Chucky. He's like, so that's the girl? And he's like, yeah, that's the one. That finally absolves Coco from that situation, and that's why Bishop gives him the day off.
Right, and that's when Trank. That's when he tells Trank, just give him the day off to spend with the daughter. Yeah. But giving him the day off gave him free time to go and strangle his mom.
Well, kind of. He didn't set out to have the day like that. I mean, he takes Letty over to the apartment. He's like, hey, you only have to stay there for a little while.
Right.
I'm going to try and find a place. I'm trying to do his voice too.
But she the mom is just like she's the type like to kick a wasp's nest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she has no. She knows what her son's capable of doing,
well,
but
she
doesn't
starts
care.
it right there in that first scene between the two of them when she brings
threatens him about the car.
Yeah. The cops called. The car got stolen. Oh, you're gonna do so much more for me than that. You're gonna do so much more for me than that.
So I'll tell them everything.
I'll tell them everything. I'll tell them that you stole the car. It's like, gee, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
And that you had the dead body, and with your record, we'll see what will happen. And okay.
See, and there's almost a part of me that wanted to know more about where her hatred came from with Coco, and is she just a bitter woman? I feel like it was the one character, but I honestly wanted to know more about her story, because how did someone get to that point?
Well,
especially when we have all these characters that all have some type of what I want to say is all of them have dirty hands.
Yeah.
And she's the one that, to me is like the worst of all of them.
I mean, she had a slight moment there when she was like, "You don't call me. You don't, you don't do that. You don't send out me flowers anymore, or whatever.
Right?
You don't come around here.
Yeah.
She had that kind of moment, but really,
not
still,
enough.
Why would I want to?
Right.
Why would I want to come around at that point?
He can't even leave his daughter there. So it's like, and she, not feeding her. When he finds out that she's basically not taking care of her at all.
Right.
And then takes her money. But it was a very dramatic turn to see what the daughter was going to do to sort of, I don't want to say frame her, but I don't think their intention was to, maybe it was just elicit more, sympathy from Coco, but I don't think she can anticipate what he was
about to do.
Yeah.
No, Letty's whole intention, she says it in episode 9 too, when she finally admits to Easy that she didn't know what he was going to do.
Right.
Easy was like, "What are you, stupid?"
I know. He's
Are
like,
you stupid? Of course he's going to do something. What do you
right?
think he's going to freaking
She's
do?
like, just go over there and tell him.
Like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
we
and
go
that-
over there, and which is a great scene.
Great scene. Probably my favorite scene of the 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I might
when
have said-
Coco tells his truth.
Yeah.
That's a great
having this
scene.
conversation with the mother right there, and
Oh God, she's just laying there on in the pillows that he set up. He set her up in the. He
Yeah.
made her comfortable.
yeah, but what I love
After
though,
he drowned her, he made her comfortable.
But this is the sick humor though, and this is the kind of humor that I like, where he goes, "I'm gonna wait till it's dark, and then I'm gonna bury him in the desert." She hated the desert.
I thought about that too.
I was laughing watching it with my wife, and I started laughing. She's like, "That's terrible." I'm like, "That's a great joke."
a great
though."
joke.
Because you think it's gonna be like she loved the desert, and he's trying to do something sweet for her. I'm take her out the desert and bury her. She hated the desert. Like that's his last
Great.
You're gonna be there for eternity in the place that you hate.
And he said he has a similar joke later on too, when Gilly says, "Oh, you should we're gonna dig the
gosh.
hole, and you should dig it as a heart."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, you should dig it as a dick." It'd be like she'd be inside of one for once, you know.
I know. It's like, I know. And then he goes, "Too soon? Too soon?" It's his mom.
Oh man! But here's him talking about his philosophy.
This is great. This is such
fantastic scene.
Great, well written, well acted scene.
Freed my mother.
Freed his
Rest
mother.
in peace. Took away the noise.
That's one way to look at it.
It's the only way, Ezekiel. If I see this as a fuck up, something horrible, I lose my truth. I gotta trust that all this shit was supposed to happen.
So we don't ever make mistakes.
Of course we do. Mistakes are more important than getting it right.
Right there.
Yeah, that's a great line.
It's a great line.
It all leads into the next right thing.
But see, I also think, with Easy, he can apply everything he's saying to what he's doing. It's his truth.
Job,
Well, he's doing it right there. He's,
Yeah.
you think you're gonna get a job, a house?
as fucked up as it was, shooting that cop, that was your truth. It had to happen. It led you to this. All that other shit, it ain't real.
That's some solid work right
Yeah,
there,
it's-
boy.
Memory.
That's a guy dealing with the death of his mother and trying to make sense of it.
That's also the justification,
Yeah.
for doing something like that, and I mean, that's the world that these guys live in. In order to still maintain being human, it's like you have to have that justification,
Right.
Because these guys, I found it interesting about the whole series that he has cartel and them working with the cartel, because the cartel doesn't have any honor, right? They don't have any honor. They don't honor anything. They don't respect anything. But the motorcycle club does.
Right.
So it's almost like they don't. It's a good contrast, you know what I mean? You have these different levels of debauchery or villainy or whatever you want to call it, villainy or whatever you want to call it, but there is still honor in the club that the cartel doesn't have, and that is a justification of what he did, why he did it. And like he says, he's like, I can't hate myself for doing this. This is what was supposed to happen.
It's a crazy lesson in life in many ways too. I mean, Jay-Z said it, it ain't no loss, it's a lesson.
Right.
It's
Always.
So and that's how we have to, and I think in many ways that's just life. Like if you can't look at every mistake.
Well, especially these guys. Yeah.
Especially these guys. I mean, granted, their mistakes are on a different level
Right.
than ours. I've never once thought my entire life of killing my mother. No,
Right.
I love you, Mom. I swear
I don't think
do.
your mother was quite like her.
No,
like
no,
her,
not
yeah.
at all. No, she's a sweet Puerto Rican lady,
Right.
Registered nurse. But anyway,
And mine's a registered nurse as
there
well,
you
but
go.
she's Mexicana. She's not Puerto Rican.
but yeah, I mean that was some brutal. I mean that was some brutal truth, and I think in many ways it kind of helped Easy in a way too.
I think it justifies what he's doing, outside of the club. And so, and he says, I don't know, but he starts to take it in. I like that he's not buying into Coco's speech right away. But then as it gets further in, and especially towards the end of that episode, they're really got to question it now, because a direct result of what Coco did put Angel and Easy in a very bad situation.
Right, and it would have been very easy. It would have been very easy for Easy to come back at Coco and say, "No, that's not right. That's what did you do? You killed your mom. Are you out of your mind?" But no, in some way, he just sat there and accepted.
And I don't know how much of that is just being a prospect too, and you're you know, because there's a lot that's what I like about JD Pardo's performance. It's very it's constricted. Like he wants to bust out, and he can't do anything because he's a prospect. He has no respect from this club. He has friendships that are close, but in terms of the club as a whole, he doesn't have any respect, so he can't give his opinion. He has to train himself to not give his opinion, even if he has one.
He took a beating for the club,
right?
He took a freaking beating by the CHP for the club,
which was so smart. It was a smart move on his part to do that at that time, you know?
And then got chewed out by Bishop for it.
That blew my mind. I did not expect that either.
I did not expect that. That was nuts.
Right? He's like, well, you could have gotten this, and like none of that happened. He took he
could have gotten one of us killed, and it was like. Well, he's right. He could have gotten killed.
Yeah.
The cops could have killed him very easily.
Yeah, that almost seems like at this point, like that would have been a mercy killing.
Yeah, exactly. He came in all limping with his ice
holding
pack,
his arm and
expecting them to like get kudos and be hailed the champion. And Bishop was just
that was stupid.
That was stupid. I'm like, Dad. Thanks, Dad.
He's like, wow. Okay, wow. Nice. I'm over here, you know, just took a huge beating for the club. Yeah, I'm going to go outside now.
Oh, boy. But so going back to the matricide for a second.
Sure.
Here. So now this has all led down a whole other, this has opened up a whole other can of worms. Right? Because it was left easy.
It's a domino effect now.
It's a domino effect.
It's a huge domino to drop. And just, you know, where is it going to go from here?
Well, this is also the most gruesome death. So this is a two-parter here. We're still talking about the matricide, but our special segment, the most gruesome death of the episodes.
Whoa, that's a nice effect we got there for Halloween too.
Well, here it is. What everybody's been all you know.
So there's this one
waiting on pins and needles for.
Yeah.
Christ, what the hell is that?
Oh man, that punch right into the bathtub.
I love that she's still like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
She's like, you son of a bitch.
Fucking crazy.
You fucking crazy.
Cops are gonna know. You took my car and assaulted it. I'm gonna fucking bury you. I'm gonna fucking bury you.
I believe you would, Mom.
Oh man.
Fucking bury you.
Oh, and then
that's it. But this is
oh man.
Now watch this. There's this part right here. She grabs his face, but she doesn't claw at his face. She like it almost is like a motherly touch that I like right here. Wait, it's coming. It's coming. It's almost right here. Right there.
Right there. Yeah. It's like the goodbye.
Oh my god. Yeah. And then when they cut to her with her eyes open, I'm just like, oh man.
That's brutal. Oof. Okay. So that happened. What do you do after that?
That had to be a tough scene to shoot.
That must have taken hours.
Yeah, she's that small. It's such an intimate. I mean, that's what makes it so powerful. It's just such an intimate.
I want to give kudos to the actress too.
Oh,
she sold it. She sold every moment on
the whole punt. I mean, that was shot in a wide. I mean, unless they replaced her face, which they do now sometimes, they replace the face with CGI, put her face on a stunt woman's body. That didn't look like it to me.
That didn't look like it to me. No,
I mean, she
flew. She like jumped like 3 feet up in the air is what it looked like.
One of those times where I was just like biting my fist because I was like,
he Hulk punched her.
Oh yeah,
straight up smashed.
And there's just something, even someone like her, this despicable character she is, like to see that. You know, you have a moment of, oh my gosh.
That's a person.
But then she's like, I'm gonna, like she's screaming at him, like, I'm gonna ruin you. And he's like, yeah, I believe you would. And that's when he just decided, no, enough of this.
I don't know, but if that were me, I probably would have said, What was that for?
You know what? But what was great and consistent of the character, she didn't beg for her life.
No.
She wasn't afraid of her own son.
No.
Like, even though he punched her in the face, she was like, F you. Like,
Well, I mean, she's a prostitute. I mean, she's probably been.
oh yeah, she's probably
She's probably been through hell and back.
Yeah, and
you know?
so and that's what I thought was consistent with the character.
Right, yeah, and that all feeds into that character's backstory. Is a character who's probably been through hell and back, has
Just been used
resentments,
her
has
whole
been
life.
used her entire life, has all these resentments, resents her own children.
Yeah,
for that matter.
And we don't know who his. We don't know who his dad is.
No.
Yeah, so
No.
I mean that is another.
We don't know if
side
he's got
story.
any other family. Quite honestly,
Right. I mean, there could be another side story there. There's so much. Like, I'm just watching it.
Yeah,
I'm
Coco's
always
backstory is
asking.
pretty rich. I like his backstory.
Yeah, and they just all of them. You just go so many different routes. There was a life they had before the club, and may affect the club later. So I'm real curious to see what goes on. I couldn't predict in terms of what the next 2 episodes. There's just so much that happened in these last 2 episodes.
Well, it's funny you should say that, but we will have to come to predictions at some point.
Oh, no, exactly.
But,
I'm
you
still
know,
thinking about that. I don't-
where does it go from here?
Right.
Because our last moments on episode 9 is Easy and Angel dealing with the consequences from that whole from the matricide with the broken taillight. Right.
I have a prediction on that one, actually.
I mean, that's I knew it. I knew it from the moment that they were dragging her down the stairs and into the back of the car, and her head hit the taillight. I was like, ah, man, DWB.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No,
DWB right
when they
there.
got
You're gonna get
pulled over
for the taillight.
and they had the friendly cop, and then the other guys like just go through the motions,
Hank? Frank?
I think it's Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, Frank was the cop, the friendly cop, and they have this rookie. But I already know, I think, what's going to happen. I see the way out very easily on this one. When we get to predictions, I'll tell you what it was. And it just hit me just right now.
Well, I'm thinking. I mean, I think we kind of are at predictions right now. So,
Okay, if
you
we're at
want
predictions-
to hit it to me?
Well, yes.
All
Okay.
For AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I don't believe that they are going to go to jail because this is a rookie cop and he opened a trunk without any probable cause. So I think they're going to get off on a technicality very quickly.
Wow, that is very optimistic of you.
Because he's a rookie, he opened the trunk. He didn't have just cause open the trunk, and that's how I feel. And they're
That's very optimistic
on
of
that
you.
storyline. That's my prediction on that storyline.
Okay.
No, you go ahead. I was gonna say with Galindo, he's not gonna deal with the DOJ. He's not gonna deal with Potter. He's gonna do something that's gonna compromise Potter or hurt Potter in some way. And I don't believe that he is going. I believe that at the end of the season finale, Galindo is going to be on top. Whether it's with and it's going to hurt Adelita and it's going to hurt Potter.
Well, here's another thing that we didn't get a chance to really discuss, which is like towards the end of episode 9, after episode 8, Rata, right? Towards the end of episode 8, Rata, Galindo Miguel says that he's got 2,000 forgotten soldiers that are waiting for a devil to lead them, right? Which to my prediction is that he's going to partner up with Los Olvidados in order to really do something and
I think that's
backstab
fair,
Potter somewhere.
Well, if
really
he could unite the cartels,
however, if he could unite the cartels, that would be great.
Right.
However, we missed the part where Bishop Rodrigo and Nestor had that little conversation at the church and was like, I can bring her to you. So is Nestor going to take out Adelita now? And before Miguel gets to really solidify that partnership?
Well, but Nestor's not familiar with their deal. With the deal,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he doesn't
know
have
the
anything. Then I mean, what would be cool then is if let's say Galindo is going to deal with Adelita and then Nestor f's it up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
I think that would be more interesting.
I'm wondering if Nestor's going to mess it up. That's what I was leading to.
Usually, when the right hand guy does his own thing, they mess things up.
I feel like Nestor's going to do his own thing and screw up the
Right.
Yeah. You put too much salt in the sopa, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm really excited for next week or the next 2 weeks because like I said, a lot of things came to fruition in 7 and 8, and they're my 2 favorite episodes. So much has happened, and they're revealing more of the backstory, Easy's backstory with Emily. And we've been getting, bits and pieces of it with Felipe, and now we know that, the guy in the picture with him is Adelita's dad, and he was a part of what they did. So, but now with this bishop, I don't know. I have no prediction with him.
I think he's the one that's setting Nestor to mess up the whole thing.
It would be poetic though if Adelita does get to him.
I hope she does.
Personally,
I hope she does.
Like if there's a scene like the what do you call it, the momicide?
Oh, the matricide
scene, but between the bishop and Adelita, that would be poetic, I think.
Right. Well, this is we only got 2 episodes left, episodes 9 and 10. But good news, and this is probably old news to some of you by now, but the show has been picked up for a 2nd season. So we're gonna get more Mayans. It's gonna be awesome, and
this is just season 1.
This is just season 1. I don't know where they're gonna go from there, but I'm stoked. Yeah,
it's super rich.
It's super rich.
I've been waiting for this show since when Mayans was still on the air. They were just talking about doing. I mean, when Sons of Anarchy was still on the air, and they were talking about a Mayans, and then God, it's almost been 2 years now since they announced that was actually going to happen.
Right.
2 years this next January. So I'm just glad to see it. I want to see more of Padrino, though. That's my only complaint.
Yeah.
I want to see it. When he comes in, though, it's an event. It's just like when he came in and Easy, knew he was there and he thought it was about him. There's a weight that Emilio Rivera brings that character, and he brings the Sons of and he brings the Sons of Anarchy mythology along with it. So I like that in the show when he shows up, that there's this weight that the show has now that doesn't have. So I really, to me, it's an iconic character, and I love that Emilio Rivera is playing it.
Yeah, love it all the way.
Yeah, I do want to see I would like to see
with you. I
a scene between Felipe and El Padrino. How cool would that be?
Oh my God,
I don't know how that would happen, but I would love to see that.
They know each other in some way because Emilio had said something. El Padrino said something a couple episodes back when Angel had told him that the prospect went to go be with. He was like, "Oh yeah, Felipe. He's going to Felipe's. He's going."
He's exactly. You're right. So it would. They have to have that. I'd love to see that scene. I have to see that scene. So.
Well, all right. So we're going to wrap it up for there. If you guys got any predictions of your own, why don't you comment below and let us know. My name is Jorge Luis Pallo. You can find me on all of my social media at the El Jorge. That is TheelJorge. And also, I do the Supergirl panel on Sundays. So how about that? How about you, Kenny? Where can they find you?
You can find me at KennethCastilloFilm.com. All my links to all my social media is on that page. You'll find trailers to all 6 of my films. Everything you want to know, or you can just Google my name, Kenneth Castillo, and you'll find me on there as well.
Right on. All right, After Buzzers, we'll catch you next time.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.